What's happening, guys? Tuesday, let's talk a little baseball. Hope you guys had a good night last night. Football was, thumbs up everywhere. Waller was a baller. Kamara and the captain was great. Going hard on Kamara over Jacobs on overlay was great. Baseball, on the other hand, we're going to get weird with it again today. But we were kind of joking around beforehand. Like, we brought up Gurriel yesterday in regards to Toronto. And it was more like the talking point that we like Toronto as a sleeper stack. However, like, we were awesome with the Toronto sleeper stack. The problem was, like, Gurriel took the offer, and the guy that we both played a bunch of was VR because he fit all of our stacks, and he got a 0. So, like, that's the hard part about talking baseball, right? Like, you pick one guy to talk about, and 7 guys in that lineup did well. And we were hard on the 2 guys that were 0 for. Super annoying.
Hard to imagine 2 of their guys in the middle of that lineup not doing anything in an 11-0 game, both getting zeros, not even getting on base. Guerrero did all the damage.
Yeah, and that new kid.
Oh, Kirk, the catcher. But Guerrero was in my Suarez line that Cueto ruined.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we could go on forever about this one. Day passes are up. We got NBA. We'll get into the showdown here in a little bit. We're going to start off with the NFL members only a little bit later, so a lot of sports still up in the stratosphere to talk about. Obviously, football is king at this point, but I'm getting excited for these MLB playoffs coming up shortly.
Yeah, same.
It's going to be a wild card time for the.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about this, but for MLB playoffs this year, they play every single day. Like, each team plays every day. There are no days off.
Going to be fun, guys. We've been bringing up the overlay promo. Welcome aboard to all of you guys who have signed up for this. This is only for people who have yet to play on overlay. You guys have heard me talking about it a lot. We've both been bringing this up for over a year now. We started to do the plays of the day on here, guys. This new matchup shot seems like a license to print money. Again, went super hard on Kamara yesterday. Couldn't believe he was only favored by 3 points when I opened it up in the morning. Well, for some inexplicable reason, like, the public bet him down to even, so I just kept putting more and more money on it. I did not understand. I don't know if it was recency bias or what it was, but, it screamed Kamara with no Michael Thomas and, easy money yesterday. So let's continue to talk about this. However, if you haven't played yet, man, go sign up. Give you a free 5-pack membership. Sign up with a $50 deposit. Screenshot it, send it to me. I'll give you a free 2 weeks. $100 deposit will give you a free month. $500 deposit will give you a free annual membership. $1,000 deposit will give you a free lifetime membership. You can play around with this. You can double your money. If you can't place in the progressive jackpots, they got the Slump Buster Challenge where they refund you your buy-ins. There's just a lot to like right here.
A ton to like. Yeah, I'm excited to talk this slate over to you. I'm real excited to talk overlay with you, and let's get it, man.
All right, guys. Day passes are up. Everything's available through the website. Subscribe to the station if you're new to it. Click that bell for notifications. Hit the thumbs up button if you can. Let's get this video up to over 50 likes today. Let's talk about pitching today. So the theme yesterday was I quoted Michael Keaton from the first Batman movie back in the late 80s or early 90s. And it's the last week of baseball. You want to get nuts? Come on now. Let's get nuts. This is the time to get weird with it in baseball. You got a bunch of teams that are out of it. You got a bunch of teams that are clinched and don't really care as much. Things get weird this last week. And one of the guys I want to get weird with is going to be Keegan Akin of the Baltimore Orioles. And let's just call it like it is. This is risky. High strikeout stuff if you look through his game log. He's also very capable of get blowing up. We talked about this Boston-Baltimore game at length during the members-only video. Like, 1-0 pitchers duel? Possible. 14-12 football score? Possible. These teams have nothing to play for. So I want to take a risk with Akin. Am I going to, run everything out there with him? Hell no. I'm not going to give everything with him today because he's a very risky play. And if he ends up negative at the end of the day, I'm not at all flabbergasted by that. However, he owns a high strikeout upside. Boston has nothing to play for. Loss of the season for him. There's a lot of ways this one could get weird today, and I want to get weird with it once.
I'm just happy we got Michael Keaton on the video. Didn't quite make the cover yet, but he's getting closer, so I'll take it. As far as Akin goes, you first brought him up on our members-only video, and I did not like it at all. I still don't love it. I don't think he's very good.
You're not supposed to love it, Belvin. Yeah. You are not supposed to love it.
However, your points are well taken, man. Like, Boston has not been great, has not been good all season. They're in a pretty good spot here, but it doesn't mean they're going to play well. They could just be dead man walking, wanting the season to end. You mentioned Akin has nice strikeout upside. There's a lot of question marks with a lot of guys on this slate. Akin's at least 6,300, and we've seen him pitch well this year in a couple spots. So while I probably don't get here, I like the talking point, and it's another one where I know that you kind of like Akin here, but I know you also could get on board with the Boston stack.
Yeah, so Verdugo being in or out today would help me like Boston more if he played, would help me like Aiken more if he didn't play. He's kind of been their most consistent hitter throughout the season. And even though it's going to be a lefty on lefty matchup right there, he's been very capable of hitting lefties with some decent prowess. JD Martinez, who's been the best hitter for Boston for the last couple of years, up there with Betts, I guess, is you want to go 1-2 like that, has been actually struggling against lefties this year. So there's a lot of ways this one could work out. If I run my typical 3-entry max in GPPs tonight, I only play him once. But I want to play him once because there are some high-priced bats that we like in this slate, and it gives me a lot of extra cap space to do it. And if he ends the day as the highest or lowest pitcher, I'm not surprised by anything.
Agreed.
All right, let's keep moving along. A guy that I would not consider this getting nuts would be Ozzie Albies of the Atlanta Braves. So we brought up Freddie Freeman in the Braves yesterday. They had a monster first inning and then just didn't really do much the rest of the game. Doesn't take us off of them at all today. I shared Albies' recent game for a little bias right here. He's been very good lately. 10, 10, and 30 sandwich between that zero right there. Excellent hitting switch hitter. Has a little speed, a little power. And I think the thing you like about Atlanta today, you love the bad blood with Urena.
Yeah, so a lot of bad blood with Urena, which is just another like feather in the cap here for the Braves, who looked like they were about to go off last night. Didn't quite get there, but we're still pretty solid. Albies, as you can see by the game log, double digits in 3 of 4. Had a really big base hit in the first inning yesterday. You mentioned the bad blood with Urena. I'll touch on it again. Hit Acuna badly last year, hurt him. Hit him again this year. I think Atlanta would love nothing more than to rock him in this spot, and not going to be surprised if they do. I think they're on the verge of another breakout game, and at these price tags, I'm not sure how popular they are. I like the whole stack, and Albies is one of my favorite pieces.
All right, moving down the list. So one of my favorite one-offs from a hitting perspective tonight is going to be Trevor Story. He's expensive. He's $5,600. You have to find a way to prioritize him in order to get him in your lineup. What I like about Trevor Story is simple. He's a superstar from a DFS perspective. Big power, big speed. But you get him tonight outside of Coors, which means his ownership is lower. No Arenado kind of helps take people off the Colorado stack in general. People don't like to one-off big expensive players like this typically. Late night hammer, crushes left-handed pitching, always have, always will. Stolen base and home run upside, which is what DK rewards. And while he's only faced Smiley 3 times, he's walked, singled, homered, and stolen a base, which all kind of says, well, this guy could go for 20 tonight, which he's very capable of doing. And I think you get him under 10% tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely under 10%. I could see it under 5%. I just don't think big money's going to want to go here, especially with Arenado out of that lineup. We talk about Story all the time. One of the highest upside guys on any given night. Colorado was good last night. A lot of that was bad Cueto, but not going to be shocked if they, get some runs off Smiley here. I mean, we've seen Drew Smiley. We know who he is. Story's by far their top piece. His upside's massive, and not completely buying what they sold last night. It's still nice to see them have a good game in them.
Well, I will bring up there's 2 points. Drew Smiley's a lot like Keegan Aiken. Big strikeout upside, but also high risk because we've seen him get rocked plenty of times in our lives. The other thing that you might like from a Colorado perspective, while they're out of it, they don't like San Francisco. San Francisco isn't out of it. With a season that's kind of like lost for them and has gone downhill quickly, they would probably like nothing better than to play spoiler right here.
Amen.
All right. Next up, Georgie Solaire of the Kansas City Royals. We got the Royals as another sleeper stack tonight. This guy's got double dong upside and he's dirt cheap.
Yeah, even if you don't want to stack the Royals, I mean, look at Solaire as a one-off. He's way too cheap for his upside. This guy hit 46 home runs last year. No idea why he's so inexpensive. Walked and doubled last night. He's a really good look in any type of roster construction.
All right. Last up, JD, Josh Donaldson, 4,100. Missed a good portion of the year. Has been playing well lately. I know Skubal is right there in the theme of other guys that we talked about. Like, if Skubal has 24 points tonight, not surprised. If he's -3, not surprised. There's a whole bunch of these pitchers on this slate that give you both decent upside, but also decent risk. We talked about a lot of these guys throughout the members-only video, but that's what this week is. It's time to get a little crazy with things. I can see both sides of it right here, and if I'm looking at Minnesota offense, other than Nelson Cruz, who was day-to-day, we don't even know if he makes the lineup, Josh Donaldson's my favorite piece. Good hitter against lefty, good power, ready to rock come playoff time.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, you could even use Donaldson, even if you were looking at Skubal here. He's so affordable at 4,100. He looks good as the Twins look ahead to the playoffs. He's a cog in the machine type in all formats. I like him a lot here, regardless of what you want to do with Skubal. And most people won't play him, and I get that. And Donaldson's even more in play if you don't play Skubal, obviously.
Yeah, you always prefer not to play hitters against the pitcher. It's more in play like on a 2-3 game slate when you're just trying to, vary up your roster construction a little bit compared to other people out there who typically avoid that like it's the Black Plague. So Donaldson works in all formats for me: cash, GPP, triple up, you name it.
Exactly.
All right, guys, that's what we got for today. We'll touch on some NBA Showdown stuff in a little bit here. Start talking NFL as I'm excited to get into Week 3 already. Best of luck today.
Thanks, guys.